What is the longest lasting Juvederm for lips? The longest lasting Juvederm that you should use for lips is Juvederm Ultra. You can also use Ultra Plus. They last about the same length of time. Some people like one texture over the others. One is a little bit more firm. It lasts about 9 months, plus or minus. Some people can get a full year. Other people, it's closer to the 6 to 9 months if you use your mouth a lot, you talk a lot, just depending on your metabolism to hyaluronic acid. That can be related to working out. Some people that work out, it tends to go away faster, but not always. It's more your metabolism of that particular enzyme to hyaluronic acid. Which Juvederm lasts the longest? So Juvederm Voluma lasts the longest of all the Juvederm line. It is very thick. It is great for building places up. It's beautiful in the cheeks. It's great for the jawline. You can even use it in the marionette lines here. Works very, very well. However, it is so thick that I really wouldn't recommend using it in the lips because you don't get as natural of a look. It can look too hard, too firm, and kind of more visible. This is something, like I said, that you can use other places and looks really, really good. Which Juvederm is best for lips? This question can be tricky because it depends on what your lips look like, what you want them to look like, and what your goal is, because there's a lot of different things you can do with lips. It's not just one lip injection and that's what it is. So some people want a very subtle little volume. They want more definition around their lips. They want to have more of a pout, but not necessarily so much volume that anyone would ever notice that they've had their lips done. If that's the case, I would say go with something very soft, very smooth, like Volbella. You could also use something like Vollure that is really nice and smooth. If you have larger lips or you're starting with like a medium larger lip, you can do something, and you want to have more volume, I would do something like a Juvederm Ultra, Juvederm Ultra Plus, and then add into it. Because when you have tiny little lips like me, you can't add a bunch of volume all at once. It's just not gonna look right. You have to kind of step into it. And so even some of those people, if you had lips that like mine and you said you wanted it to be more of a dramatic change, I would start with something that's a little bit softer, maybe like that Vollure, and then the next time maybe go up to the Juvederm Ultra or Ultra Plus to get more of the volume that you want. And so it really depends on what your lips look like, what you want them to look like, and how we want to get there. What is the best permanent lip filler? I'll be honest, I do not have a permanent lip filler. I don't like the lip implants. They exist. You can Google them, but to me, you can see them, you can feel them. They are way too firm. And if you kiss, you can feel it. I have taken out lip implants because they've gotten infected, they've eroded through, you could see it sticking out the side. That's just not a cute look for me. You can do things like fat injections in the lip. That is a more permanent lip filler where you take fat from another part of your body and you put it there. The plus with that is if you love it, it's around for maybe 10, 15 years, which is a really great longevity. If you don't love it, it's around for 10, 15 years that you kind of have to deal with it. So plus or minus, you kind of weigh out what your options are there. The thing with fat is you're moving it without its own blood supply. So you may have this little fat glob that lives and this one that doesn't. So you may have a little bit of bumpiness. Especially in the lips, this is a place that you can see that. So I'd say be very careful with that. There's also Alloderm. I put Alloderm in lips. This is, so it's a second layer of skin. So it's the dermis that is actually made in a lab. So it comes in a sheet that you can roll it up and you can make it look like whatever you want it to look. It feels a little squishy, almost like filler. It is a surgical procedure where you make tiny little incisions that heal to where you can't even see them and then put it in underneath the mucosa of the lips. This gives you volume with time. It does swell quite a bit, as does the fat injections, and so for about a month you're pretty swollen, so you want to do this while we have masks on, or do this where you don't have to be in front of anybody. And then that Alloderm, that lasts anywhere between 5 and 10 years. And everyone's different as far as how much volume you get from it. It can be pretty incredible, and in other people it's a nice little subtle like improvement. Again, depending on what your lips look like and what you want them to look like. A more permanent option that I like is the lip lift. This only addresses the upper lip, but it is something where you place an incision underneath the nose. You lift up the lip, and so you see more of the red lip. This is a permanent change. It addresses a lot of things about aging about the lips, the long white lip, more tooth show, and it is something that you do and you don't have to do that again. And so if someone's asking about permanent lip filler, these are all the things that I talk to them about to try to get that permanent look without injecting something that's permanent that they may regret injecting or have a look that is not necessarily what they're looking for. Have questions? Call or email anytime. I help people like you every day and would love to talk. Thanks for watching.